The first thing I'm going to do is set my oven on 425 degrees to preheat it. Well, this is a continuation of Granny McAree's homemade flat, chewy, crispy biscuits. It's kind of still a work in progress, but this morning I'm going to bake a batch and I'm going to show you how to roll, how to knead, and how to roll your biscuits out and cut them with a cookie cutter. And then I'm going to use this pizza stone. It's a Pampered Chef pizza stone. The first thing I'm going to do though is put this pizza stone in a 425 degree oven. You've got to preheat your oven to 425 and let your pizza stone be getting hot. You want this pizza stone hot when you place your biscuits on it. That's what causes them to be really, really crispy. I have my biscuit dough mixed together. I have flour in my sifter, and I'm going to sift flour on the tabletop about like this. Okay, I'm going to pour my dough onto the flour. I'm going to put more flour on top of my dough, and I'm going to push it down, and I'm going to start kneading. What you do, put a little more flour, but don't put too much flour, okay? But you just knead it, work it with your hands, about like this, where it comes together. You may have to put more flour on your table and pick that flour up and just turn your dough over like that. Start at the edge of it and just bring it in. And I do this probably about 10 times. It'll be where the dough is not sticky to your hands. It won't stick like that right there. So okay, that makes a pretty good ball. I'm gonna put some more flour down, rub it around. That's just about right. I'm gonna take my rolling pin. I have a rolling pin like this. I don't know what kind of rolling pin it is, what it is, an Italian rolling pin or something, I don't know. Anyway, make sure you flour it. And just roll your biscuits out. And I'm going to get mine about a 1/4 inch thick. It's a little bit thick in here. Okay. Take my cookie cutter and kind of dip it around in the flour and just start cutting. Now you know Pops likes large. This is a large biscuit cutter. He likes large biscuits. Large flat biscuits. This is about probably a 1/4 inch thick. And that one won't be. I'm gonna put this down over here and just pat it in like that. I took a piece someplace else. Okay. So I'm going to get my pizza stone out of the oven. I sprayed it with spray oil. Now I'm going to take a paper towel and kind of wipe some of that oil off. And you can see these biscuits are very thin. You have to be careful. Put them on your pizza stone. Lay them out and around. Now you can tell This is a little bit more trouble than a drop biscuit. So make these when you have time to learn how to do and practice with this. Now I get together all of these scraps up. See these scraps? And roll them around. Get some more flour. Press them down, kind of roll them out. Very thin. You may need more flour on your rolling pin, and I do, to keep it from sticking. Just gonna put some flour on top of that. How about that? See if that works. Okay. Here's one more. Ooh, that one tore. It's okay. Don't be scared of it. And then I'm gonna make one more here. I'm just going to push that together like this. Okay. It's very forgiving. And here's one. Now, I don't waste anything. I'm not going to waste this right here. So, I'm just going to roll around like this, put it in my hands, work with it. Just make a little biscuit. Pops would enjoy this. Sometimes he just comes in and he gets something to eat and he'll pick up a biscuit, okay? Now, something that I do, I take this oil spray, vegetable oil spray, and I just spray the tops, okay? You can tell they're already rising from the heat from the pizza stone. I'm gonna put these in the oven, 425 degrees. I don't know, I'm gonna check them in 15 minutes. They're thin and it may not take 15 minutes. So just watch it, okay? To help clean up my mess, I have a small pizza cutter. I don't know if this came from the restaurant when we were serving pizzas. I just get my trash can and I pull it right under my table. And then I just take this pizza cutter and I just scrape like this. And clean all of that dough off. This is the easy way. Okay. Then I take a rag and wipe my table. Get it clean. The biscuits are out of the oven and they were timed exactly 15 minutes. If I can pick this up without getting burned, because this pizza stone is really, really hot. But you see, I have some flat biscuits. See how thin that is? Just like Pops likes them. Now, what I did though, because they're rolled and cut out with a cookie cutter, you can see that the tops are a lot smoother than my drop biscuits. But they puffed up a little bit. I was shocked. So about 3 minutes into the oven, when I first put them in, I took a spatula and I just beat the tops down like this. And it flattened them out. So, basically, these really look good. Ooh, that's hot. I'll have to have Pops to try them when he comes in. Let me taste. They are crispy. I think they're kind of chewy. So I may have hit the jackpot again. All right. Tastes pretty good. I hope that you try these. Sometimes when you have some time just to mess around, they're not as crispy on the top as my drop biscuits, but I think Pops is really going to be pleased. It's a real thin little biscuit. Bye for now. Love you to the moon and back. Never stop him.
What you got?
Well, I tried again, and this is a flat, chewy, crispy biscuit. I think I hit the jackpot again.
They're flat.
Well, they're a different texture than my drop biscuits.
I almost burnt that one.
Oh.
That's closer than you've ever been.
Really?
On the chewy part.
I don't think the top is as crispy as my drop biscuits, but the bottom is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you like them that flat, right?
Yeah. Well, they're good.
Okay, kids, you heard it. I think I did good today.
Pretty good. Thank you.
Love you to the moon and back, never stopping.
Love you.
Bye-bye. Well, let me tell you something. These bad boys are really good cold. I think they're better cold than they are hot, but they're really good hot. I'm just kind of speculating on this. I don't know for sure, but I think these biscuits, thin like this, and they don't fall apart. I think cowboys back in the late 1800s, or even maybe before that, the early 1900s, their wives could pack these in their saddlebags and they'd hold up. They wouldn't come apart. Look at this. I can understand why this would be a real good biscuit for traveling. I know Mom and Papa Stokes and my Uncle Wendell, they had a ranch, a farm. This is where Pops and I live right now. Mama Stokes' place is what I call it. And I can see Papa Stokes and Wendell taking these out into the pasture with them to work the cattle. You know, we don't work cattle today. To me, that's a lost art. I mean, we don't as our family. There are many people who have a ranch and work cattle. But that's just my speculation. I don't know if that's true or not, but I can understand why this would be a good biscuit for farm work and ranch work. You need to try this. This is really good cold. Love you to the moon and back, never stopping.